Hey guys, what do you call an enchilada that's been in the freezer? An enchilada. Today I will be reviewing El Monterey's signature beef enchiladas. So 2 beef enchiladas with a little bit of rice in there. Probably going to be very similar to all the other El Monterey stuff. Nutrition, 460 calories. 38% of your daily sodium and 35% for saturated fat. So it's a little salty and fatty. That's okay. 22 grams of protein. This has got a decent amount of food in there. And microwave instructions, 4 minutes and 50 seconds. Cook on high for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Stir rice side to side. Cook on high again for 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Let stand for 2 minutes. So basically the same as the other one of these that I had. Let's open this guy up. Well, you can see all the stringy cheese here. We got rice at the bottom here. Cheese and enchilada at the top. Looks okay. I'll be right back with the finished product. This is what it looks like cooked. The cheese sort of got in all the rice, and again, there isn't really as much rice as I would like, but hey, it seems about the standard for this. The cheese did sort of burn and get stuck to the edge of the container over in some sections, and the enchiladas are sitting in like a pool of molten cheese. So there's that to consider. We got the box here, and I will say that I think the cheese and I guess maybe tomato sauce or whatever, the box shows them just over the center. They definitely like fully cover and swampify just about the whole dish. It doesn't look as pretty as the box, but it's like, well, who cares? All right. I'm gonna have some of the cheese covered rice, and by some I mean like half of it in this one fork thing. The rice is alright. It tastes like pretty normal Spanish rice. It does have a lot of the enchilada stuff on it though, so it's got sort of the Chipotle sauce, the zesty Chipotle sauce flavor, I guess, is maybe what I'm tasting. But it's got a little bit something that I feel like probably came from here to make it a little more interesting. It's pretty plain Spanish rice. It's got a little bit of black bean in there. A little bit of the cheese got in there as well. Not bad, but my view is that Spanish rice like this is a little boring. It's fine. It doesn't taste bad, but it's not amazing. If you've had one Spanish rice, then this is the exact same thing. Oh, there's a bunch of Spanish rice that got underneath the enchilada. So there's that. I guess it's time for me to have a bit of the enchilada. First off, I don't think there's ever been a burrito or enchilada type thing that I've had so far that I felt was properly filled with stuff. These are pretty flat. The box here makes it look like it's fully stuffed, like it is a tube of meat, and it's kind of not. A little bit of false advertising there, I think. But every single burrito I've ever had is like that, where they're largely just the tortilla or whatever this is. I think it's a tortilla. Speaking of which, this tortilla is, everything here is ultra hydrated. It's very wet, maybe slightly chewy. I think that's because of all the molten cheese. I'm pretty sure this has a little bit of spiciness in there. Maybe that's the zesty Chipotle sauce, and I sort of lost my spice edge after I had my colon removed. So it's a little hot for me. That's okay though. The tortilla itself is maybe a little doughy. It's kind of soft. It's a little too soft and doughy, I think, for my particular tastes. The beef as well is it's like it was completely shredded, which I think is the idea. It's okay, kind of like a beefy mush. There are still strands in there that you can feel, but the whole thing is kind of mushy. I will say though, that in a lot of these things, the cheese is very noticeable and rich. In this, the cheese is not very noticeable. You can sort of tell it's there. I think it sort of went everywhere and was just on the outside. You can taste it and it's fine cheese, but it doesn't overpower it like everything else. I think the Chipotle zesty sauce, although I've never had Chipotle so I'm not sure, is what's carrying the flavor of this enchilada here. Okay, so I think I give El Monterey's 2 beef enchiladas topped with the zesty Chipotle sauce, Monterey Jack and cheddar cheese served with Spanish-style rice, 3 out of 5. Not bad at all, but not super great either. Not something that I'm a huge fan of. The rice itself, kind of boring, just typical Spanish rice type thing with black beans and yellowy rice that tastes like every other time I've had Spanish rice. The enchiladas themselves are okay. They're maybe a little too wet for me. I think the Chipotle sauce sort of carries the flavor, and it's maybe a little vaguely tomatoey, zesty. I taste the zestiness, which I don't even know what that means, but the word feels right, so I'm rolling with it. It is a little spicy, and the shredded beef tastes like shredded beef. It's mushy, it's maybe a little, I don't know, it kind of feels, you know when you blend beef really, really hard, so it's got like maybe little fibrous strands almost, but it's all blended together. It's got that texture. That's not my favorite texture ever, not my favorite taste either, and the tortilla itself is just kind of too mushy for my particular tastes. Overall, 3 out of 5. It's okay. Perfectly edible, but not something that I would recommend. Thank you for watching. The big question is, how hot is this actually, since I've had to stop eating spicy food because without a colon, that causes massive discomfort on the way out. Thank you for watching. See ya. Welcome to the outro. Be sure to like, Anger! Ah! Welcome back. We're using this trash cam now because the other one failed. I wanted to complain quickly about applying for jobs. There's 2 main issues I have right now. First, big companies. They all use their own login system and site where you've got to upload your resume, put in all the details you had on your resume manually, and create an account and everything, and they all have different password requirements, so you can't just have the same password thing. And then there's the other one that I had to do earlier today or yesterday. I had to take a 30-minute test when applying, and they didn't even tell me how I did. Half the reason I went through that was to figure out how I did. I thought I did probably okay because the questions were like, what 2 statements prove Dave is Jessica's cousin? Statement 1, Jessica's mother is Erica. Statement 2, Erica is related to James. And it goes on like that. You gotta choose the thing that connects the 2. So I think it was pretty easy. Some of them were a little confusing, and then there were programming questions, but those are not too difficult, I think. I don't know how I did. Anyway, I just wanted to complain about that briefly. Better camera soon, maybe. Probably sooner if I had an income, but you know, whatever. See ya.